Hey, how's it going everyone? Since I was talking about video game remakes and how Ubisoft needs to step up its game with the Prince of Persia remake, in today's video we'll be talking about the all-new Call of Duty Modern Warfare II Remake. A new gameplay video was released just recently by the official Call of Duty YouTube channel, showcasing the beauty of the new Call of Duty remake. This is straight up gameplay and it looks like it was recorded on a PS5. In most cases you'll need to wear headphones to truly experience the sound quality of this gameplay footage. The level starts in the ocean where two boats filled with badasses go after what looks like an oil extraction platform which has missile controls on top of it. The place is of course filled with damn enemies. We'd play as Soap in this level. I say that because I heard a character calling the character we're supposed to play as Soap and asking him to open a door and clear an area. The sounds in the game are great. They really do give the feeling that you can use them to your advantage instead of just having bombs exploding everywhere or enemies rush you just to get it over with. Explosions were when the sounds truly shine. The depth to noises is not the same with each different explosion. The sound of a flash grenade is really deafening and you can hear the difference between different explosions in the game. The same goes for weapons. Now I'll be honest, most weapons used in this footage by our characters were suppressed, which gives them all the same depth of noise but not too much variance. I could judge the sound of enemy weapons though, since they did not use suppressors on them. And to be honest, I felt like they sounded a bit too old. And by old, I mean like ripped off of previous Modern Warfare games. The level starts with the team trying to be stealthy and taking out everyone without sounding any alarms. But this seemed impossible because the game throws enemies at you nonetheless. That of course is when you pass a certain point in the level where a teammate throws a flash grenade at the enemies to get into a room full of them. There are no detection meters or any indications as to why and how you were spotted in order for you to retry the level, so this looks like a classic Call of Duty scripted event in the story. We did see that there were Molotovs that could be picked up from anywhere in the level and can be used against enemies. But in this footage, we did not see their actual effect on enemies, because when the player throws one, they throw it at the only place with no enemies in it. Now once we get halfway into the mission, we're then able to see how the cover system works. That's when the player decides to take cover behind a small container. We can clearly see that the player mounts their weapon on that container while being hid behind it. We also get to see how the peeking system works when hiding behind bigger objects. I was only able to notice the peeking mechanic working while peeking sideways though. When looking up and down behind cover, the player just mounted the weapon on the cover because it was short enough to do so. I was also able to notice that the game had the sliding mechanic in it. When a grenade is thrown at the player, they run away from it and slide behind another cover. When the team gets to the top of the platform, they see that the missile controls are not there and the missile is armed and is on a ship leaving the platform. Call of Duty, being Call of Duty of course, decides to throw the stealth element out of the window as it's of no use now. Soap, the character we'd be playing as, grabs the same rope used to get onto the platform at the beginning of the level to ripple down to the boat they were on. Then they decide to chase the ship that has the missile on it, using the boat to jump onto the ship, crashing into it. When on the ship, I noticed something that the player wanted to show off, but I can feel that it won't be a thing that would be useful in game. Containers on the ship were sliding everywhere and two containers got too close to each other. And the player jumped on the first one and then onto the second one equipped with a shotgun and starts killing enemies from up top. This also seemed too scripted to be true and is not a mechanic that we'd be making use of in any other level. Other things that I see as not so immersive: enemies die instantly when shot at. I do not know if this is due to the game being played at an easy difficulty or not, but enemies just die. They do not even fall or show some signs of dying before you shoot them again to finish them off. This mechanic I'm speaking of is something that you'd see in Sniper Elite 5, where when enemies are not fatally wounded, they would still try to shoot at you using their sidearms, or they would crawl into cover, or would even keep limping while still fighting. This is nowhere to be found in this remake of Call of Duty. The second thing that can be noticed in this gameplay footage is that when the player is shot at, you'll be able to see the same blood splatter on the screen from previous Call of Duty games. I'm not complaining about it, but I have to say, most of the HUD elements in this gameplay footage have been disabled, but I still have a feeling that it would look like something reused from previous Modern Warfare games. And talking about scripted events, when the player enters a small corridor-looking room, an enemy is waiting there to kill the player. But suddenly water breaks through a window right next to the enemy and pushes them to the ground, making their kill an easy one. I would love to see people experimenting with this game a bit to see if these scripted scenes would change depending on the time we take to get to them and trigger them. This game looks like a remake focused on the Shadow Company Task Force 141 story, staying close to the plotline of the original Modern Warfare 2. The gameplay footage ends with an explosion and a lot of different shots from different levels. Then we see that the game is coming out on the 28th of October. I'm not buying it just yet. Now the game looks sharp enough to release by then, but games getting delayed is now just a trend and I have my own doubts. Now this is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this remake, or if there's something I missed in this gameplay footage. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, get subscribed for more daily content, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new one. Enjoy.